Before we go into today's fishing adventure, I am going to respond to a request from several viewers that have asked me to describe the nature of my kayak hauling rack that I use in my pickup. When I designed the rack and built it, I was looking for a rack that would allow me to haul multiple kayaks on my truck without building the rack in as a permanent installation. This is what the rack looks like when it is assembled to the truck. After you see the pictures, it will be obvious how it is constructed. Since I'm getting ready to go on a fishing trip anyway, we'll go ahead and assemble the rack just the way I use it. That's good. The nuts that hold the lock bolts in place on the front rack need only to be installed finger tight. There's no way they can come out. The pins that fit between the bed and the tailgate hold the rear rack firmly in place. The weight of the kayak will keep the pins from coming out of the slot. The pins are also covered with rubber hose so as not to damage the paint on the truck. Today I've decided to take my 10-foot 6-inch Perception Pescador Pro. This little kayak only weighs 56 pounds, which makes it a lot easier to handle on the river, particularly if you have to portage. We're all set now to go fishing. All we have to do is go pick up Pat, put his kayak on the top rack, and we'll be on our way. The water looks pretty good. Now if we can just get the fish to cooperate, we should have a nice day. Drummer! There are two eagles sitting on a limb. One eagle flew, the other one is still sitting there. As Pat got closer, the second eagle flew away also.
When I was working on the bridge, I took out one day and just walked down through here. Walked the whole thing. He got off. We're just now getting down where we ought to start catching them. I've caught it. That's another bass out here. Smallmouth.
Juvenile eagle right up over the top of me. That's why those other two adult eagles are hanging around. They're trying to protect this guy. The other adult eagle flew away, but this one is still hanging around, watching over the young one. Every time the river forks, you have to make a decision which fork to take, and sometimes it even splits into more than two forks. This fish is either a pretty nice fish or he's foul hooked. I've had a lot of viewers ask me why I don't just pull these bass in like the pros do. My response has always been that the pros aren't fishing these clear Ozark streams and using 4 and 6 pound test line. We finally found a shaded bar to have our shore lunch. Shore lunch didn't last long. We were anxious to get back to fishing. You may wonder why I'm not taking more pictures of Pat. That's because I hardly ever see him. We don't fish close together when we're floating. The temperature today may get as high as 100 degrees and is starting to feel that way. Little spot. Haven't caught very many of those today. I don't know where Pat is. Haven't seen him for an hour, I would imagine. Anyhow, maybe I'll run onto him down here. This is the last shoal, so he'll be down in the eddy. There's Pat.
I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm going to be committed, I think, all through July and half of August.
Pat, if you're going to get to church on time, buddy, you better start paddling. We need to get out of here. What a way to beat the summer heat. We caught a lot of fish, had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun going along with us. We'll see you next time.